Okay, so I got cut off in that last video a little bit. So this is part 2 of 5.06, and this is really focusing, this part is focusing on using the imperfect tense and preterite tense together in a sentence. Actually, that's not where I stopped. Is it where I stopped? Let me make sure. But yeah, it is. Okay. So when you use these, you can use both of them in one sentence, because if you think about English, you think about like a lot of times you're talking about an ongoing action and something happens all of a sudden when the other thing's going on. Like when I was 8, I was having my birthday party would be imperfect, and then you might say, but then I fell and broke my ankle. So you can use 2 different past tense in one sentence. So and a lot of times, just like this says on here, you're going to use 2 verbs. I mean, these 2 verbs can a lot of times be connected by the words cuando and mientras. And cuando is when, and mientras is while. Okay, so and I already read through this in the last video. So, but an examples of this is like comíamos. So this is imperfect. Comíamos fuera de la cabaña cuando sonó el teléfono. We were eating outside the cabin when the phone rang. The ongoing action is in imperfect. Hold on. Okay, sorry, my children are beating each other up. Okay, so you have, I'll start again. Comíamos fuera de la cabaña cuando sonó el teléfono. So we were eating outside the cabin when, they use cuando, the phone rang. Okay, this ongoing action is comíamos, we were eating. Cuando is your connecting word. And then interrupting action, which is preterite, is sonó, which is sound. The phone rang, like the phone rang. Okay. Another example is caminaba hacia la habitación cuando pensé poner el anuncio de no molestar en la puerta. I was walking towards the room. When, cuando, I thought, pensé, poner el anuncio de no molestar en la puerta. So I was walking towards the room when I thought to put the do not disturb announcement on the door. Okay, another example is mientras mi tío hacía la reservación del hotel. La recepcionista escribió todos los detalles. While my uncle made the reservation at the hotel, the receptionist wrote all the details. So it's using mientras at the beginning. Your ongoing action is hacía, which is made, and your interrupting action is preterite, which is escribió, he wrote. Okay. Another example is mientras saludaba a mis vecinos de la habitación 210. Abrí la puerta de mi habitación individual. Okay, while I greeted my neighbors from room 210, I opened the door. So they're using cuando, they're using mientras for their connecting words, so it's while. Your ongoing action is saludaba, like I was saying hi to my saying hi to my neighbors. Your interrupting action is abrí, which is open in preterite, opened in that translation. So then you go up here. Now this is a hard kind. All this preterite and imperfect is difficult. I remember learning this in like Spanish too, and it was it's very hard to fully grasp, especially when you don't hear it all the time. You don't hear Spanish all the time. Okay, so it says, ponte las pilas. Mientras tomabas notas, te preparaste para esta práctica. You can do it. Okay, so they're using the example of what they said. While you're taking notes, you prepared for this lesson. You can do it. Or for this practice lesson. Okay, so this is a review game to help you remember and test yourself. So the instrucciones are to write the correct form of the verb either in the preterite tense or the imperfect tense in Spanish that best applies to the situation. Practice as many times as you need. So this is your opportunity to really practice and try to really figure out the best ways to use preterite and imperfect in different situations. So so remember, a lot of times you have all the accents you need here if you need to copy and paste. So it says, you've got to fill in the blank here. It says, ayer Camila y Juan blank las etiquetas de los artículos de aseo personal. This is like toiletries. So you've got here. So you've got to fill in the words. So you say, so it's Camila y Juan. So that's the same form of the verb for eos y ellas, eos or ellas. So you have leyeron. Okay, so you put in leyeron. Now this is one of those irregulars that we learned in this section, and you submit. And you see if it's right. It says, correcto, magnifico, you're a preterite tense master. Okay, so you practice through those. Then you can test yourself. Now, if you get it wrong, for example, let's say you put in, if you don't conjugate it correctly. So let's say you do that. You submit. It's not letting you submit? Oh, I think because I already did it. Okay, let's do this one. So it says, nos blank sentir cansados cuando llegamos a la casa de campo. So let's say you do it wrong. Okay. And it's going to tell you to try again. So you can test yourself and figure, and if you want to see just a full version, the text version, you can click that and you can see kind of everything all at once. You can also print this if you need to. Okay, so it says, ¿Quieres saber más? For a more detailed lesson on these grammar concepts, select this. So this is actually a really good resource, especially if you need to review all of the verb endings for conjugating these verbs. It's a great page with a lot of content on it that you can print, or you can print as a PDF and save it. It's just a lot of great content and a lot of good review materials about using regular verbs in the preterite and versus the imperfect tense. Okay, so go to the next section. And you have Las mochileros del mundo. Muchas personas viajan a diferentes países y no viajan con maletas, solo viajan con mochilas. A estas personas se les llaman mochileros. Prepárate para viajar con los mochileros a Nicaragua y España. Get ready by using las estrategias antes de escuchar. So again, if you need the English, you've got this. What they're talking about is a lot of people travel to different countries and they don't travel suitcases. They only travel with backpacks. These people are called backpackers. Prepare to travel with the backpackers to Nicaragua and Spain. Okay, so this is different kind of stories about los mochileros viajan, como los mochileros viajan. So you've got one about Nicaragua, about el hostal in Nicaragua, and the city Castilla-La Mancha in España. Okay, so you can listen to it.
Hola amigos, mi nombre es Abdiel. El año pasado visité con mi padre una cabaña en Castilla-La Mancha, España. La cabaña tenía un área para hacer camping.
Okay. If you can listen and you can also read the text. So you have a lot of good opportunities to practice. Down below you have your self-check section. And make sure you read through all of these sections and listen. It's good, very good pronunciation practice to listen to Spanish as much as you can. Doing your self-check, it says where did Fatima and her family stay? You click this little button here and it will give you the answer and you can figure out, you can test yourself on whether you remembered that information or not. Okay. Okay, so this is just an extra practice for you. Okay. So if you have a friend you can speak to in Spanish, this is a great extra activity you can add on to practice your pronunciation and your conversation skills. Okay, go to the next section. And now it says, Ahora te toca a ti. Okay, this is now that you've gone through all the new vocabulary, it's time to show what you know. Let's find out how much you've learned so far. Remember, you can always go back and review the lesson content. So this is just a game for you to play. You click OK, and you hear a question. Oh, this is the first slide. Okay. Click the next section, and you test yourself on there. Okay. Go to the next section. And it says, Felicidades! You've just met your goals for this lesson. Now you're able to use written and spoken vocabulary related to lodging and accommodations, use regular verbs in the preterite and imperfect tenses, and recognize similarities and differences in accommodations in Spanish-speaking countries. So now it's time for you to complete 05.06, En Donde Te Quedaste? This quiz covers the lesson 05.06, En Donde Te Quedaste material. So at this point, I'm going to pause it and take you to the. Okay, when you go into your assignment, this is an example of 05.06. Questions are going to be mixed up, so they're not all going to look like this. But you're going to read and so it's all multiple choice. So you're going to read and choose the correct option to complete the sentence. Mis tíos compraron blank grande para los veranos. So you can say, is it una caja, una casa de campo, un elevador, un servicio de habitación. So if you've reviewed your vocabulary, you should know that, and you can always do a process of elimination, thinking about mis tíos compraron una caja, una casa de campo, un elevador. I'm sure you can roll out one of those almost immediately. Okay. Okay, so that is, there's only 10 questions on this. It's all multiple choice. So if you have any questions, you do get 2 automatic attempts on these assignments. So if you do 2 attempts and you'd like to have another one, just let me know and I will reset it for you. And if you have any questions about anything on the quizzes or the tests or the lessons, just let me know and I will try to help you out as much as possible and explain it, give you more resources, whatever I need to do to help. So have a good day, and I hope this helps.